Hi people, it's great to see everyone on this channel. You're all welcome. As in Swahili we say karibuni. From the title of my channel, it says Ugandan living abroad blog. So yes, I'm a Ugandan. I've been living in the UK for about 10 years. My name is Atiero ni Mungu. Atiero ni Mungu, it just means, dedicated to God. So that's just the name that I have. I've decided to start this blog because I want to share my journey as I plan to relocate, back home to Uganda. I know there are I'm not sure everyone, but a lot of people that live and work abroad from Africa, ultimately our goal is to go home and then to settle down there. And I think we think that way for a lot of reasons. And like I've said, it's not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of my colleagues that are here, just tell me, no, Rita, you're crazy to begin this journey of going home. So I think it depends, on different circumstances. For instance, for me, I was born in Uganda. I lived all my life in Africa. I went to school there. My friends are there. My culture, my identity is absolutely Ugandan. So I've only lived away from home, say, in the past 10 years. So in a way, everything that grounds me, everything that makes me, my memories, everything that I'm about is just screams, home. And for that reason, I've struggled. I've really struggled living abroad. It's had its good sides, but it also has its bad sides. So just to elaborate, for instance, I say, the reasons. Okay, people come abroad for different reasons, and again, I'm only speaking about myself, my situation, and not about anybody else. So yeah, the reason I initially came abroad was I came to study to do my second master's degree, and in that process I ended up meeting someone, and then we got married. So I then eventually had to move abroad, and that's how I ended up here. It took me a lot of thinking, giving up everything that I had back home. Like I said, I'm someone who's very close to my family. I had a job, so it was very difficult for me to make that decision. But like they say, love takes you places. So that's how I ended up living here. And it was difficult in the beginning because, we think of our education system, like I've said, our employment history, a lot of those things. When you come abroad, you have to start again. So I would say the first maybe 6-7 years of my living abroad was really about starting over. So you can imagine, those years are gone. You have to, if you're going to school, you have to maybe learn a new profession. If you're in a country, because I originally, when I was married, I lived in the Netherlands. So when I moved there, that was an added difficulty because in Holland they only speak Dutch. So I had to go back to school. I had to learn the language. And then after that I started, and I was so desperate to find work, to have employment, to be able to just be part of the whole environment in a new country. But I struggled, and the reason I struggled is I've never been good at languages, and then I knew that when you learn a language and you're a professional, I'm a social worker by profession. It meant, and my job involves interacting with people, writing reports, meetings, you know, a lot of communication, and language is key. If you're not able to communicate properly, you know, as a social worker, there is absolutely no way you can work well. So because I didn't know Dutch, and when I learned Dutch, it took me 2 years to get average, you know. It still wasn't good enough for me to find the level of employment that I wanted, you know, as a social worker. So it meant that I had to do, you know, odd jobs here and there. I volunteered for English speaking, you know, departments, maybe say refugees, you know, asylum seekers and things like that. But it wasn't really my calling, so I struggled so much that it actually impacted on my on my on my overall well-being. I found it very difficult to adapt and settle in the Netherlands, and eventually actually then I just couldn't cope, so I moved. That's how I ended up in the United Kingdom. At least here, you know, they speak English. It's familiar, you know, it's a I don't know, maybe because we are colonized by the British. A lot of the things are a bit similar to the settings back home. For instance, I could find food from home. There are a lot of the community, the Ugandan community or the East African community here is very diverse. But the most important thing was when I came to the UK, I was able to go back to school. My social work degree from Africa, absolutely useless. Again, it's because of the nature of society here. It's different. So that the societal problems that people have in Africa or in Uganda are different from what people here deal with. For instance, say, you know, the old people in Africa, I mean, my population of old people is so minimal, and it's only recently that, you know, they have been put into budgets, they have been supported as a vulnerable group, whereas here, you know, it's a big thing, you know, it's a whole department. So I just had to go back to school to kind of learn the system of caring for people here in the UK. So it was a 2-year degree, master's degree. And after that, yes, then I went, you know, I started working, started getting some fulfillment, you know, and purpose in my life. And yeah, that's where I've been ever since. And I love it. I love my job, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So yes, it's been a journey. And like I've said, you know, you have to be determined. You have to know what you want to achieve. You have to sacrifice a lot. There is no straight way to get from A to B. I mean, there are no shortcuts. You have to work hard. You have to be determined, and eventually you begin to see the benefits, of course, of your hard work, and that's what's happened. So I've been practicing for a while now, and I've reached that point where I'm thinking, you know, I have to start thinking of going home. My home is in Uganda, and I've started on this journey, which I hope you will take with me to start preparing to permanently move back home. I know it's going to be difficult. I know it's going to be a big, not very big. I don't want it to sound as if, you know, I'm going back to some. So it's really having the mindset and saying, okay, this is what I want, which I've reached in that stage. And now I'm embarking on the next stage of how do I get home in a meaningful way, and not to rush things, because I'm not getting any younger. So I want to make sure that I don't make any mistakes. So that's the path I'm on right now. And like I've said, it was never there's never been a place of doubt in my heart or mind that, you know, Uganda is where I want to be and you know, Europe is just a place where it's given me experiences, it's given me opportunities. It's allowed me to bring up my children, but ultimately I know I want to be able to go home, you know, give back, just be happy. I mean, that's what life's about. So yeah, my videos are going to be mainly about this process. And what I'm doing originally, I go home every year just to visit my family. And again, it's because if I don't, I miss them terribly. So it's always been a must for me to go home every year. So last year I didn't go. I didn't travel because of the whole pandemic corona situation. But this year, I think I'm going to be able to go to travel sometime, maybe at the end of May. I mean April. And when I'm going to, because I'm going to go for only 3 weeks, I need to combine it with work. It's actually a work visit. So what I decided about a year ago is that, you know, I need to start, like I've said, preparing to go home. So I'm doing some construction work. And I need to be able to get things going. And the best way to do that is, rather than give that role to someone else, I think I prefer for me to go home and to be able to do as much as I can. So my visits are always work visits. I go home and I have a target of exactly what I want to achieve in the 3 weeks that I will be in Uganda, and that's really just construction. I'll be giving you some ideas of buying property, of building, of the do's and don'ts, connections, costings, lifestyle, so that you kind of have an idea for those that wish to settle in Uganda or other parts of Africa. I'm not sure, you know, every region is different, but and I'll be speaking mainly for Uganda, and you know, East Africa is diverse, even though there's Kenya and Tanzania. So for my colleagues that are abroad that struggle, and we do struggle to find, you know, the right support, the right people, because always people say, you know, you're from abroad, you probably have a lot of funds. So to find people that are reliable and that will do a good job for you is sometimes difficult. So I'm hoping that through my journey we'll be able to kind of grow together, to see what's out there, what's available, what to do, what to avoid, and things like that. So yeah, that's really it. I won't be able to post every day because, you know, I'm working as well. I have a full-time job, although it helps out. We're working from home at the moment. So I will be able to bring through videos here and there, maybe once a week or once every 2-3 days, just to tell you just to show you the progress of my preparations to start going home. And yeah, I hope it will be enjoyable and worth seeing and following. Okay, so that's it for my first video, and I think the next one it's really going to be talking about how I get ready to go home, i.e. packing. What do I have to take home? What does it involve me making that journey back home whenever I visit? It is quite interesting, isn't it? People from home, we all have families, we have, you know, relationships. So going home is not just a matter of packing your things in one little suitcase and jumping on that plane. It involves, you know, planning, and it involves money, involves funds, a lot of things. So in my next video I'll kind of touch on that, and then you'll see exactly what I mean, and how I prepare to go home. Okay, all right then, take care everyone, and speak soon. Bye bye for now. Bye.